So another route on the LM, and attempted the cozy route. The problem was it was cold. It was freezing cold. As we approached, the snow was completely different to the day before. It was frozen and it was very hard to get purchase in the snow. I started leading the pitch out, and after about 3-4 meters, I just lost complete feeling in my hands. I was holding on to crimps like this, and I couldn't feel any of my front fingers. So we ended up bailing on that. I kind of think now back that maybe I should have kept with it. I used to do some outdoor climbing in winter, and I noticed that I'll lose the feeling in my fingers the first route, and then I would get this immense pain in my fingers. It's like your inner masochist is having a field day. It's just so much pain, and all you can do is just hold onto your fingers and try not to yell too much. So we ended up bailing on the cozy route, and then went around to do a route called Le Rapin du Toit on Le M, which is, you have the northeast ridge and it's to the left of it. We found the second belay right from the snow, so we skipped the first pitch completely and started belaying on the second pitch. The second pitch is the crux pitch. It's 5C. It has a Z sort of left right crack on the slab, and then you have an overhang. And in the overhang you need a 4 size camelot to place in the crack. That we didn't have, so Wojciech did the overhang without that pro. It's really tricky when it comes to slabs and then overhangs. If you fall off the overhang, you're going to hit the slab. Even with gear in, you'll probably hit it anyway because of the rope will stretch, and there's slack in the line anyway. So you have to really watch out when it comes to slab approaching overhang. You have to really be careful. On the slab, you had this crack which you used for feet, and you had about 2 to 3 meters where you had no hands. So it was really fine balancing on these small little crack indentation in the rock, and the crack wasn't straight, so it wasn't a ledge, it was sort of angling up. So sometimes my feet were sort of slipping on the crack as I was following. And if you have small feet, you have such a big advantage when it comes to these small features. I think small people have a mechanical advantage when it comes to climbing mountains because they can leverage off and they can put things in smaller cracks and smaller different types of features. I wasn't very happy with the shoes that I was trying to put in the cracks because it was really a small feature. So you have this blank section where you get to a left crack, and then you have finger crack on a chimney on a corner. Finger crack under the corner. It was 5C. For me, the slab was harder than the overhang. The overhang had this big flake which came out, which was fine. It was a bit strenuous. The legs were quite far in and a bit off balance, but the slab was the most tenuous of moves on the whole route. After that, you have 2 pitches of sort of blah blah for a 3. On the 4th pitch, we ended up getting to the belay on the northeast ridge because it was very hard to see, just all these cracks above you. So we actually went to the 5B pitch on the Aiguille ridge, which we figured out. So then we did a traverse pitch, and it took a while to figure out where the belay was for the next pitch. But the pitch at the top is really nice. It's a 5A crack. It's basically an off-width next to a very small corner, which is perfect for hand and feet. So there's about 20 meters of 5A slanted crack, really nice for jamming. If I was going to do the Aiguille ridge again, I would actually do a traverse pitch where you have the 6A and the 5B, and that letterbox 3C, and then go across to the Rapin du Toit and do this last pitch because it was really nice. It was also long. We put together 2 pitches, so it was about 50 meters up on the top. It's also a lot easier to descend from there. So we went and found these 2 rappel descents. Fortunately, on the second rappel, our rope got stuck in it's like a V shape after the piton anchor. So Wojciech had to climb up with a prusik and then get it out, move it around, and then rappel off it. So it's quite interesting that if you see, when you're doing rappel and you see Well, first of all, they should just make proper anchors, to be honest. But if they don't want to do that, then you should just have a look for if there's any like, yeah, sort of rocks that go like that after it, then it'd be ideal to move the knot in your rope past that point. So maybe get on it, go rappel down past the point, well, if you're the last person rappelling, and then somehow move just one of them so then they all move and then the knot comes through. I'm not sure. It's possible, but it's something to keep an eye on. And of course, rappelling is one of the most... I'm the most scared of the rappelling parts because all the tragic stories I've heard is from rappels. Keep very mindful of where the rope is going. When we got back down, we had to do another double rappel down the snowy couloir. So freezing hands again, snow all caught up in the prusik. And then we missed the train again down. Yeah, we lost about 2 hours changing the route from the Cozy to Le Rapin du Toit. So maybe that kind of makes up for it, but it would have been a really big rush to get back down for the train. The train times are not as early as they will be going in July and August. So hopefully when you know these routes, you can just get them down to a day. Because to descend to the valley is just killer for the legs. You're out of action. The next day, you're pretty much just chilling. I guess the route is rated D. It's 5C. I can't find it in the logbook at UKC, and it's not a very popular route. But it gets my thumbs up because it has a very nice crux pitch, and it has this higher pitch, which is super nice. Climbing is not as sustained as on the Enemy Ridge, but you do get to definitely test yourself. The 5C crux pitch, there's a bolt in the middle of the traverse part, so you have that, but the rest of it is all on pro. So it's nice. You get to get stressed putting in pro. I'm happy I didn't lead it. So it's a great 5-6 pitch rock route. If the Enemy Ridge is busy, then just jump on that. Or if it's a particularly cold day, yeah, have a go. It's there. It's very nice. We thought it'd be warmer because it's on the east side of Lehem, but there was a huge cloud that came over. And what I noticed was when the cloud came over, it got a lot colder. It dropped like 5 degrees. So it was pretty chilly. Thanks for watching. I'll keep you guys updated and post some more videos soon. It is a great thing. What did I say?